the anchor law for assessing the realms of financial fortune is the law of love. What is it? The law of love. In Job 22, verse 21, he said, acquaint now thyself with God, and then you'll be at peace. Thereby shall good come unto thee. He said, receive, I pray thee, the law from his mouth, and lay up his words in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you shall be built up. You shall put iniquity far away from the tabernacle. Then shall ye lay up gold as dust, and the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brook. Yea, the Almighty shall be thy defense, and thou shalt have plenty of silver. Now, there are two things made in verse 22. Receive the law, lay up his word. Now, the law is clearly the law of love. Why? 1 Corinthians 13:3. Though I part with all my goods to feed the poor, and I even offer my body to be burnt, and have no charity, it profits me nothing. So giving is impotent without love. It is the love of God that gives value to our givings. It is the love of God in our heart that gives real value to our givings. And what is our love for God? He said in John 14, verse 21, whosoever has my commandment and keepeth it, he is he that loves me. He that loves me will love my Father, and I will love him. And what? I will manifest myself to him. So, it is the love of God in our heart that gives real values to our giving. Having great delight in his commandments. What is it? Great delight in keeping his commandments. Now, listen. Abraham was a super wealthy man. We never saw where he prayed for it. He just obeyed God into it. He just loved God into realms of fortune. Whosoever has my commandment and keeps it is the one that loves me. Now, in 1 John 3 or 5:3, he said, and this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Abraham was an addicted keeper of God's commandment. As soon as God finished speaking, Abraham has started doing. As soon as God finishes speaking, Abraham has started doing it. Depart from your country, and so Abraham departed. Circumcise all the maleborn, and Abraham rose up early in the morning, started cutting them up. Take your only son. He rose up early in the morning. Abraham was a hot lover. Come on, say hot lover. He was a hot lover of God, and the Lord had blessed him in all things. All. 24 verse 1. Abraham was old and sick in the year, and God has blessed him in all things. Isaiah 41 verse 8. The seed of Abraham, my friend. Abraham was God's friend. God's friend. And love is the cord of friendship. Abraham won the love of God by loving God. Can I hear your amen? And God blessed him in all things. God will never need a sponsor. How many will say amen to that? I mean, you may not like it depending on where you're coming from, but God will never need a sponsor. This ministry has proved it. There is no identifiable person in this world that is a bankroller for what we do here. And there will never be one.